Welcome to the Self-Trust Frequency podcast. I'm Suzanne. This is episode 11, and I'm so glad you're here. How is your spiritual journey going? Check in with yourself. You've come so far. You've come so far in your energy journey and connecting to your spirituality. Perhaps you've met your guides. Perhaps you've done some ancestor work. There's always more goodies to explore. And the point of this podcast is remembering that we are souls who have incarnated for soul growth in this lifetime. So how is what's showing up for you in your life creating opportunities for growth? So today I want to talk about a few things I've noticed in spiritual business and connecting this 3D earning a living with the 5D. When I began my spiritual practice as a business almost 2 years ago, I've been looking back at all of the client and cases I've seen, and I'm going through a shift. And the shift is that I find this pattern of myself over-explaining, giving more than enough information instead of trusting the energy, trusting the experience. It's not me cramming an experience into someone or cramming information into someone. It's trusting the silence, trusting the experience. I've always struggled because some of the Reiki practitioners I received training from or received sessions from gave me so little information, and there was like zero communication. It was just the experience itself. I didn't have enough information to integrate the experience. And so I think I have overcorrected by providing that for people. It's time to start approaching my sessions and my business with a little bit more of this palms open surrender stance. Every person that comes in that I've learned is on a different point of their journey. Either I am like the first stop in any spiritual experience they've ever had, or they've been deep into their journey and they're telling me about what sort of energies and spirituality they connect with. And people are on all sorts of a part of this spectrum. Some people have fear associated with perhaps stepping out of Christianity to come and see me. It's like I'm their dirty little secret, and I'm like, okay. And some people, it's like, I've been doing holistic things, but I've never done anything with energy, so let me learn about that. So I found that in the past 6 months, I've been noticing that I am learning how to have more finesse to meet clients where they're at. Because if I come at you with like so much information and digesting the experience you just had, it's just too much and it's unnecessary. And so as I was thinking about just almost like providing less, which sounds, lazy, but actually it's holding the space to trust the frequencies and the energy to come through. And I just have to keep getting out of the way. And if people want more information, they'll ask more questions. But the number one priority in my sessions is for people to relax the nervous system. So if people are relaxing the nervous system, that is a state where you can't digest a lot of information. So I would like to shift into trusting the body-based mindfulness, the body's experience. If it's a somatic experience, you're not processing a lot of cerebral information. So this is just something I'm calibrating in my business. And so as I've been thinking about this, meeting people where they're at in different parts of their journey, thinking about how I can serve people the best, and that my like natural over communication is actually like less helpful. It's like I'm calibrating. So the messages I've been getting from my guides are, we're preparing you. You're learning from every session. And I feel very, very fortunate to be in a position where I'm getting paid as I learn, because it's like they're supporting my training. My training is every session I have. Like, I've done my Reiki training, I've done my certifications. Now it's like meeting literally every person in the different place they're at. That's the training I'm at now. And I feel like when I think a session could have gone better, guides are saying, just let it go, you're learning. So that's why if you're a Reiki practitioner of any kind, or a holistic practitioner, a coach, it's like you have to learn by doing. Like, I am 2 years into this and I am still learning, getting into the energy and letting the energy guide the session. I had a man coming for a 5:30 in the evening session for chakra balancing, and I don't have as many men who come and book with me. I just love it when men want to experience energy work. This lovely person came and I did the session, and it was like immediately he fell asleep. And he had even said he loves Reiki, he loves chakras. Um, he does Reiki himself, and so he thought he might fall asleep while he's receiving the session. So here I am in the session. I don't need to explain myself. I mean, this person is literally asleep. I just need to do the work, do the energy. As I was running the energy, it was so beautiful, and I could really get deep into it. Just different themes and patterns and visuals were coming to me, but I was just sending the energy. And so he was in a meditative state, I was in a meditative state, and that's what he wanted. So at the end, he shared with me that he has traveled around to Sedona, Mount Shasta, Northern California, and he loves energy work. And he is seeking an energy worker and hasn't found someone in our area. And we're in Texas, it's the Bible Belt. And it was such a good realization for me that the way I practice is always having to explain myself to people, because I'm not in California where I used to be. And I'm in this state of overly explaining what I do. And it's not, doesn't feel like overly explaining it in the moment, because most people don't know what it is and they're very skeptical of it. So people who come to see me because they're curious, even for the first time, I find that I'm giving them this like Texas orientation to energy work. And it's just not as part of the culture here. It's almost like outside of Christianity. So here this man came in looking for someone like me, where I didn't need to explain myself. He said it's the exact type of session he had been looking for. And it was just so beautiful. And so I think that there's some part of it that, like, the place I'm in has made me get into this people pleasing, micromanaging, over explaining state. And I'm going to quit it, honestly. I'm going to quit doing that, because I need to let the energy do the work. The energy can do the introduction. Such a gift to get this message, like, just be effective, don't over explain, don't try to make people like you, don't try to make people like Reiki, just do the work. Like, are you being as effective as you can be? And when I got that sense, it's less communication, actually. So then it was really beautiful to have a session with so much unspoken energy happening, and somebody seeking this experience, which meant I didn't have to explain a thing. I just got to share some beautiful messages at the end. So I'm very grateful that that session aligned with the message I got. And I'm curious what you take from this story, where you're at with your intuitive gifts and sharing them with the world. I think when we begin to share our gifts with the world, there is a long process of discovery that's so beautiful. And if we can stay adaptable and open, we can continue shifting as we learn. So it reminded me to be a beacon of that weirdness, that beautifulness. If someone wants a really like thorough, in Texas terms, out there energy healer that does chakras, Reiki, tuning forks, angels, sound, like, they can find me. And he's like, there's just no one around here who would be just like part and parcel of what happens in Sedona, for instance. And I was just filled with like joy that what feels so weird here is actually what someone's seeking because they found it elsewhere and they haven't found anyone willing to kind of like step out and be that here. There are a million really cool people I've met that are metaphysical, that are spiritual, and I think that the community here is growing, but I know I'm not the only one here in Texas. We have an amazing metaphysical community, so keep rocking it. And if you are in a more supportive environment, a space where people are more open-minded to these things, I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Let me know what it's like to practice in a space where it is completely accepted and it's part of the culture. It's an interesting thing to think about. So anyone who's afraid to get started, I think the experience, the practice of doing it is so crucial. You can't just dream about it and then suddenly you're perfect and you start. It's definitely a learn by doing experience with energy work and deciding what kind of practitioner you want to be. And for me, it's not so much a decision as letting it evolve over time through the experiences and through how I see my work landing with people and the adjustments I make so I can be more effective. Did I let the energy have space to work? Was the person able to experience that energy and have some sort of shift or insight that truly has nothing to do with me? So thank you so much for listening, and feel free to comment your own experience as a practitioner and where you're at in your journey. I'm bringing this to the self-trust frequency podcast because it's the self-trust of letting the frequencies come through you, letting your soul growth come through you. And in that trust, we don't need to explain ourselves. We don't need people to like us. We're just here to share a frequency and we're here to share the work. And all of the fluff, all of the ego, all of the extras just continues to get out of the way. So more of the energy you're here to share comes through. I'll drop every new episode on Thursdays on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube. And I love to make accompanying meditations for each podcast episode. So look out for those.